Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 203. We are going into round 13, lucky number 13 of this Houston race. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Dude, last Triple Crown of the year.
That's
we
right.
are going into a good one. We're going to see two bikes in the pits again. We're not going to see a couple of people, but we are going to see some great racing.
Some great racing. As I said, lucky number 13. We got to expect some good stuff to happen this week, some good drama. We got Cooper Webb, Adam Cianciarulo leading these points. So we'll have to see if anything can happen to, bring that little chase a little closer together, and let's try and drive this championship all the way to Vegas for both of these classes. Actually, all three of these classes, but obviously we're just talking about the 250 West Coast and the 450s today. East Coast will come back next weekend whenever we hit Nashville.
That's right. Yeah. Going into this Triple Crown, we mentioned in our last podcast a couple of people that are going to be missing out, such as Chad Reed, Justin Brayton. He'll be out, and yeah, I mean, a little unfortunate for the vets, but there's still a lot of good competitors out here in this class, and it's going to be a good one, man. We're going to have Lane Shaw lining up with the 450s this weekend. He makes things very interesting all the time. Kyle Chisholm will be racing this weekend. We're going to have Sean Cantrell making a comeback this weekend on the 250 class. Jacob Hayes, who we mentioned, who injured his hand before Seattle. He'll be racing because he's a badass. He don't care. He's out there. He's out there to win races. Dylan Merriam is in. Cole Nichols is in, even though he had that crazy crash last weekend. And yeah, man, just excited to see what's going on. We are going to have a sand section on this one, as we saw on press day, and it could, maybe because Justin Brayton's out, they're like, all right, well, Brayton's out, we can put the sand back in.
Well, Baggett also said he was not a fan of the sand. So maybe because he did so bad last weekend in Seattle, he got 7th place. So they're like, yo, you got 7th place, so your opinion doesn't matter this week. They're like, you got to be top 6 in the previous year. Yeah, to have your input on the sand. But also, Colton Nichols posted on his Instagram. Obviously, we saw him have a pretty bad crash last week in Seattle. He said, did some riding today to see how it would feel, and I'm good to go. See you all in Houston.
G2G, bro. Good to go.
Yep, good to go. So it looks like he's in. I don't really know what to expect. I mean, if it's just a cut on his leg, then you have to think maybe it shouldn't affect him too much, but he's hurting everywhere else because that's a hard crash.
Yeah, I mean, his night did end it a little bit earlier than expected, obviously, but he's good, man. He's good, and he'll be out there this weekend, and I'm sure he's going to make things very interesting. I know he wants to get back in this battle, and even though he might be out of it for the championship, he still wants to win some races and be on top of the podium.
Yeah, and like you said, Jacob Hayes trying to go this week, and you have to. There's only 3 races left. We got Houston, Denver, and then Vegas for these 250 guys. And Jacob Hayes right now is sitting 11th in the points, and he's only 4 points behind Garrett Marchbanks for 10th place. So it's not over for him to finish inside of this top 10. So like we said, 3 races left. If you can fight through the pain, you do it, because it's winding down.
Yep.
Another person who we got an update on is Gage Shear on his Instagram. He kind of gave everyone a little update on his situation, and he said, first of all, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for reaching out. All surgeries are done, and I'm finally starting to feel better, which is crazy because, it's like a whole week. It just, that was a hell week for him. 7 broken ribs. That's a lot. That's got to be like every single one. That's a lot of ribs.
Ask Chad. Let's ask Chad what that's a lot.
How many did he break? Like 4?
8.
Oh my God. So both of them getting their ribs all broken up at Seattle. But he also said he has 5 fractures in his back. All right, so that's 12 broken bones right there. Broken ulna, broken radius. There's 2 more. 14 bones. He broke 14 bones. And on top of that, a lacerated liver and kidney and a collapsed lung. That is just, I mean, wow.
And his goal is to race Vegas. What?
Yeah. Well, hey, that was Chad Reed's goal, and Chad Reed, we talked about him. He was at the beach, so.
Yeah, he was at the beach. He's also moving out of his house right out here in Dade City, and obviously he's not doing a lot of help to his wife, but he is doing therapy and in the water. I saw him moving his shoulder a little bit and just trying to get back into it, man. He's in it. He's in it. He's wants to do the 250 start, I believe.
Yeah, hopefully he can get there. Yeah, that collapsed lung on, just a quick Google search, it says the collapsed lung itself generally takes like 1 or 2 weeks to heal, which is just crazy. That seems really fast. Yeah,
a buddy of mine, his mom actually had an accident riding horses, and she collapsed her lung, and it was like a couple of weeks before she was good, like back on the horse. So and I'm not just saying that, like that's literally what she did. Like I know that's like a saying, but she got back on the horse.
Well, all these dirt bike riders trying to get back on their steel horses and get as many points as they can before the end of this season. So, as we said earlier, this is our picks episode. We're kind of on a roll right now. We've done pretty good all season too, picking these riders. So we'll have to
let's
see
not jinx ourselves though.
Yeah, let's not jinx ourselves. That's why I said pretty good. We're doing pretty good. So I got to tell you though, I got some more bold predictions today. Not as bold as Josh Grant beating Chad Reed, but
that was a mistake.
Last week, my strategy was kind of to pick what I want to happen, and did pretty good with that, obviously with Marvin winning and stuff, but it didn't really help much because Marvin screwed himself by jumping on the red cross flag, getting docked 7 points. So, wow, you have to think, man. That's huge. That 7 points is really a big deal because he would have closed that gap up by half or something. So
7 points. He would have closed it by 7 points because he's 14 points out right now as he was before Seattle. So it would have been 7 points.
Wow. So we'll have to see if he loses his championship by 7 or less. It's gonna be crazy. Like, he's gonna be hitting himself. He's not gonna sleep all off season. That's for sure.
Yeah. No. He's definitely going to be kicking himself in the butt, and, but what can you do? I mean, you have to concentrate and you have to pay attention to the race, and I'm actually, not opposed to that call. I think it was a good call, and...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, unfortunately for him, and for us, he misses 7 points. He still got that win, so... Maybe I wonder if he keeps that trophy, or what do you do with that trophy? Like, you're like, you keep it, you won, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he won, and he keeps it, and he might just put that one in the back, maybe.
Yeah. Like that's what I was gonna say, because Ken Roxon mentioned how Marvin got a little bit of gap on him because of that little section right there. So I don't know. There's a lot of things in that, but
Ken said on the podium that once he saw him jump, he thought he was going to get dock position, so he just kind of let off. He was like, I'm not going to try and pass him and really force the issue there, because if he's going to get docked, then what's it matter anyways?
Well, you shouldn't assumed, but
shouldn't have done that.
Let's forget about the pass and let's talk about this Houston race. Let's make some picks. Before we get there, though, I did see an update on El Hombre, Jason Anderson, and he's back riding on the bike, which is a good sign. He's getting ready for outdoors, obviously. And then another cool thing that I saw, and the first time they did it wasn't that great, but it was badass because of what they did. And if you don't know what I'm talking about yet, you will, because they're talking about bringing back the History Channel is trying to bring back the Travis Pastrana tribute to Evel Knievel.
Okay.
To break some new records. And one of the new records they're going to attempt to break is going to be Axel Hodges, who's going to break the longest distance, which is 379.9 feet. Oh, so he's trying to break that record by a lot, they said. So they're working that in. As far as I know, that's all I got for that event, but I know they're bringing that back in the History Channel.
That's pretty awesome. I remember we talked about that last year whenever it happened, except just the whole broadcast was like how kind of lame it was, and they were just like hyping it up for like 3 hours and stuff, like trying so hard, and then he just like did it no problem like we all expected. But that's pretty cool. I'm always down to see these guys break records and stuff. Who is the longest? You said the longest jump was 300 and like what, 70 feet? That's crazy.
379, yeah.
Was that Robbie Madison? Maybe
I
one of his
believe
like
so,
New
yes.
Year's jumps or something. So
Yeah.
All right, dope. That's really cool. So hopefully we'll see that back soon. And of course, that's better to add more people to it, like Axel and stuff. Get some big names on it. Probably one of the like most viewed things History Channel's ever played. But
yeah, exactly. And well, as we remember, Travis Pastrana broke those records in one day. I think that's probably why it took so long, which was probably a bad move in their part. They probably should have done it, just do one at a time, or type situation.
Yeah, I believe he did 3 jumps. One, he jumped like the most buses, and then he jumped over the fountain was the big one. And then was there another one?
Yeah, and then the other one, I believe it was over cars. Like he did like, I don't know how many cars, but it was over cars.
It was like
he jumped
50
the buses,
cars.
the cars, and then the fountain. Yep.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Good thing you threw that in there.
Another thing that I saw that I thought it was kind of funny, we might put in our Instagram, but on press day, someone that we had on the show not so long ago, Martin Costello on the JMC Motorsports bike.
Yeah.
They were on press day, and they're like lining up to getting ready to go out type thing. So they lined up like right in front of the starting gate or whatever.
Right.
So he's like putting his bike in neutral, but he didn't put it in neutral. He just like whips out.
No. He looped it out.
He just loops out. It's so funny.
Just like something you'd expect, like someone whose first time is like on the bike. They're like, all right.
Exactly. Yeah. He was like, his caption was, well, that was not neutral.
Yeah, the videos I saw from press day, it looked like, I'm sure, it just looked really dark in there to me. Did you kind of get that vibe? But I don't know if it just didn't have all the lights on or something, but it just looked dark in there.
It might be the people who filmed it. I mean, I'm sure these stadiums got great lighting, so
Yeah.
I don't think that's the problem.
It's just one thing to look forward to. And yeah, just the videos I saw are sick. I think I really like this track, and I think it'll be awesome for this Triple Crown. Yeah,
Exactly. It's a cool track for a Triple Crown format. Like, it's gonna be good for passing, good for racing. It's got badass sections. It's got the sand section, and it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be a good weekend of racing, and I cannot wait to make my picks.
Yep. Well, one thing we should throw in before you make your picks is, so Houston is on Central Time Zone, which means they're 1 hour behind us here on the East Coast. So racing will start at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, it will be live on NBC Sports and the Goal app, obviously.
Yep, and one thing to note is the last chance qualifiers will be starting at 4 local time, which is 5 o'clock for us, 5:15. So make sure you watch that. It's always good and exciting.
Well, you ready to make some picks or what?
Let's make some picks. Picks. So we got some crazy stuff happened last week, just with Cooper Webb finishing 4th last week. So maybe he can do it again this week. If he does, those points are going to get closer unless Marvin decides to get docked for something else.
Yeah. Well, Muskin has to win too, so it's not just Webb sucking it.
All right, let's say Marvin, or let's say, okay, so you know how Marvin got disqualified 7 points for jumping on the red cross flag?
I do know.
Let's say, is it the same penalty if he does it again this week?
I believe so. I mean, it's in the rule book. That's what they do. So it's 7 points if you jump on the red cross flag.
Well, I mean, that's pretty crazy because if you think about, like, as the season winds down, obviously there's just some positions where you're just like, oh, well, we got Blake Baggett sitting in 5th place in the points. He's 62 points behind Cooper Webb. So let's say he's in a position to go for a race win, and he already knows he's not going to win the championship, so why not just jump the triple on the red cross flag and just get the race win at this point, since he's already out? So it seems like, I don't know if that penalty, I wonder if they would change that penalty if that started happening.
That's a good question, though, but I'm sure they'll get fined too, because that's not, that's putting the Alpine Star medic team in danger too.
Yeah, and the down rider, of course. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That just came to mind. I just had to throw that in
That's
there.
good though. That's good.
All right. So pretty much where I was going with that is just Cooper Webb did bad last week, 4th place, not bad, but Muskin, Roxon, and Tomac beat him, who are all right kind of there in the points, a little bit behind him. But Marvin, we'll see if he can close the gap anymore this week. And then happening over in the 250s, Adam Cincerulo is up 12 points over Dylan Ferrandis, who got his first win of the season.
Finally.
And Shane McElrath, who's not going to be racing this Triple Crown, out with his back injury. So we saw Jimmy Dakotas, Michael Mosman got 4th last week. So we'll have to see who can step up and finish on this podium.
Let's see. Well,
right.
Let's start with that then. Who's your 250 third place?
All right, 250 third place. Dude, my picks are going to be boring this week. They are pretty boring. For the 250 at least, because I think Jimmy Dakotas, who got 3rd last week, will also get 3rd again this week. We saw Dylan Ferrandis and AC really pull, they were up to over 20 seconds on him. And then he was up pretty far over Michael Mosman, too, who got 4th. So I do like Jimmy Dakotas to get 3rd, but I think it would be cool if we saw, obviously RJ hasn't got a podium yet this year, but even Mosman or Chris Blows, or maybe someone else can get up there on the podium. What do you think? You have anyone besides, the main guys, the easy, boring picks?
Let me tell you. It's funny that you mentioned Jimmy D, because he posted something about him being on the podium and whatnot, and somebody commented, someone that we know, I'll tell you off the air though, somebody commented and they say the Suzukis are slow. So I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not just us who says that. So there's there's somebody else out there saying it in the industry. So, but for my 3rd place pick, I'm actually going to pick RJ Hampshire to be.
Oh, nice. Good. Yeah, I really hope that happens. He's just had a rough season this year.
Yeah.
And
I think after the break, he kind of got himself together. Obviously, it didn't show last weekend. He got 6th place, but I think he can probably step it up this week. He's got good starts, and he might be able to pull it together and get that 3rd spot.
Yeah, he's had a rough season. He's had a lot of bad luck in the heats and in the mains. We saw him, crash pretty hard in the whoops at Seattle last week, and it's just we saw him crash in Atlanta, and we saw him crash a lot this year. But that Geico Honda just, 0 podiums this year. He's running out of time too, so maybe we see him really, really go for it. But you talked about Jimmy Dakotas. One other thing I just want to throw in is that he has this video on his Instagram of him doing the quad, and
that's the one.
It looks sick. He hits it so perfect.
That's the one. That's the post that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone can look it up then and see who you're talking about.
Oh, great. For my 2nd spot, though, I'm actually going to go with Adam Cincerulo again.
Oh, okay. All right. And this is where we good. We got some good different picks this week. My 2nd spot, I'm going Dylan Ferrandis. So that means I got AC getting 1st, Adam Cincerulo 1st, Dylan Ferrandis 2nd, and Jimmy Dakotas 3rd. I think AC bounces back this week. And Ferrandis, can he get 2 in a row? I don't know. I don't think he does this week, but I would definitely not be opposed to that, because that would bring these points way close together.
Well, hopefully he does, because that's my number 1 spot. That's what I got for winning this weekend.
Perfect. Well, let's move on to these 450s now. All right.
I wanted to mention before we go on, also look out for Garrett Marchbanks. He's been looking good. He's got good starts, and that's total key for this Triple Crowns.
Yep, well, he did struggle last week in Seattle. He ended up getting 12th, and we talked to Chris Howell, and he said that he was talking about how he was getting lapped, and then Garrett Marchbanks got past him. He thought he was a lapper, and That was on our last podcast. And you know what? Real quick, just to throw this in, I was thinking about that too because it's kind of like a cheap move, you know? When they wave the blue flag and then you just tag on to the leaders and then you're just like, oh, I'm with them. Like, I'm lapping you when you're really not. It's like a little camouflage.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to these 450s.
Okay, fifth spot.
All right, so for fifth for me, I talked about someone who got the whole shot last week and looked like he was gonna, finish inside that top 5, maybe even get a podium sometime this year, and that is Zach Osborne. I got him getting 5th place this week.
Wow.
And let's see if I think he can put it all together this week. Pretty.
Nice.
I don't know if that's bold or not, but that's how I'm going.
Well, he has been improving every week, so that's a good thing. But for my 5th spot, I'm gonna get Ken Roczen up there.
Oh, okay. All right. The Tony Stark of Supercross, Iron Man.
Exactly.
All right, cool. All right, 4th place. Who you got for 4th?
Blake Baggett, somebody that has really good starts. This could be something that he's good at. He's got great results in the past, but we also got those other guys that want to win and that are also very good at this format. So Blake Baggett for a 4th spot.
All right. Weird for me, I'm not picking Blake Baggett to get 4th this week, and kind of bolder, I don't even have him in the top 5. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. But for my 4th place, I am going with someone who got 4th place last week. RPC, Red Plate, Cooper Webb. I think I'm more hoping that he finishes off the podium again to see if we can bring these points together, as I said, as long as someone doesn't get disqualified. So, got Cooper Webb getting 4th.
Muskin. Okay, cool. Who you got for 3rd?
All right, and then you mentioned Muskin. I'm going to pick Marvin Muskin to get 3rd this week in this Triple Crown. Who do you got?
I got Cooper Webb.
All right, Cooper Webb getting 3rd. Cool. Yep. What about 2nd place and 1st place?
For my 2nd spot, I got Marvin Muskin. He's kind of a little roll. He's got 2 in a row, and he's also has decent starts. He's got a fast bike, and this track could be something that he might like. There's a couple of whoop sections out there. There's the sand, which is good at. So Marvin Muskin is my 2nd spot, and obviously for my 1st spot, I got Eli Tomac, your Triple Crown defending champ.
Very nice. So I got Tomac getting 2nd, and that leaves one person. If you're following along, trying to do the math, who do I got? 1st place, getting his 1st win of the season. New winner, I got Ken Roczen taking home all the monies this week.
Okay, that would be nice. I will not be opposed to that either. I would like to see Ken Roczen up there. The only reason I don't think he will be up there is because he's still not 100%, and he doesn't even know why. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like the whole risk situation when we had the Jordan Smith thing, even though it's not going to be the same result, but like, we're talking about Roczen health. Like he doesn't feel 100%. Like he's saying he doesn't feel 100%. So it kind of sucks because I do want to see him win, and I thought he was going to do way better than he's done, but it's just not happening for him. And but I will not be opposed to him getting that 1st win, man.
Yeah, well, he's getting closer. He's had a lot of 2nd places this year, so this is another one for him. Last week in Seattle, so let's see if he can finish it off.
A lot of top 5s too, so
all
except
but
for
2.
those couple, but
yep. So we will see if he can do that, but there is one more pick we have to make, and that is Claudio's wild card pick. And that is 11th place this week. So let's see who Claudio is going to pick for 11th. I think you're 2 for 2 in the last 2 weeks, so let's see if he can go 3 for 3.
Oof, that's so much pressure on me right now.
All right, let me give you some tips. So last week, Cole Seeley got 9th, Tyler Bowers got 10th, Justin Bogle got 11th, Justin Hill got 12th. So maybe one of those guys sitting in the points. Justin Brayton is actually 11th in the points.
But
he's out this week. Chad Reed, he's 8th in the points. He's out this week. So maybe even someone who has done a little worse than that can sneak up there. Maybe like even, I don't know, Ben LeMay or Justin Barcia, who got 17th last week. Who knows if he'll be in the top 10 again this week.
For my pick, my wildcard pick, it's going to be Tyler Bowers.
Tyler Bowers. All right. Finishing just outside of that top 10. Claudio picking Tyler Bowers. All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Tyler Bowers. I was thinking Cole Seeley, but Cole Seeley's a top 10 guy. Like, he's in the top 10. So
It's my boy.
Your boy. So Tyler Bowers is going to be my wildcard pick for this week. And hopefully I'm right again. And, I can just keep bragging.
There it is. Well, that's going to do it for this pick episode. Let us know who you're going to pick. I think we're in for a good one here in Houston. And we'll see if we can bring those points together. And we will see you guys next time for our recap.